In this video, we will examine the 10 most dangerous combinations with coffee that could pose a serious threat to your health. Find out which combinations you should avoid to keep your body safe. Watch the video until the end to discover the most dangerous product and get tips on how to protect your health while enjoying coffee without any risks. This video is going to be incredibly informative and helpful. If you want to take control of your health like a pro, give it a like, and let's get started. Tip 10. Never drink coffee with dried fruits. This combination can lead to severe health problems, including hyperglycemia, digestive issues, and serious gastrointestinal disorders. At first glance, this combination might seem harmless. Coffee is invigorating, and dried fruits are considered a healthy snack due to their high fiber, vitamin, and mineral content. However, this pairing hides a danger that many people are unaware of. The issue is that dried fruits are packed with natural sugars, and caffeine, by speeding up metabolism and raising adrenaline levels, has a sharp effect on blood glucose levels. This creates a significant burden on the pancreas, which is forced to work overtime to stabilize blood sugar levels. Over time, this strain can lead to the development of insulin resistance and type 2 diabetes. The American Diabetes Association conducted a study where researchers observed people who regularly consumed coffee with fructose-containing products such as raisins, dates, or apricots. The results showed that participants experienced sharp spikes in blood sugar, accompanied by dizziness, fatigue, and an increased risk of metabolic disorders. Experts found that caffeine temporarily suppresses insulin's action, making it harder for the body to process sugar. A telling case involved David Carlisle, a 42-year-old accountant from Chicago. David led a sedentary lifestyle but tried to eat healthily, replacing sweets with dried fruits and drinking several cups of strong coffee at work each day. He noticed that after snacks, he felt sudden weakness, sometimes a headache, and thirst, but he attributed it to fatigue. However, one day after lunch, he unexpectedly lost consciousness right at his workplace. Doctors diagnosed him with a pre-diabetic condition, and the cause turned out to be his regular combination of coffee and dried fruits, which led to pancreatic exhaustion. Specialists strongly advised him to completely abandon this habit and reconsider his diet. To avoid such issues, it is important to remember, coffee itself has a significant impact on the body, and when combined with foods high in simple carbohydrates, its effect becomes harmful. If you feel like snacking, it is better to choose nuts or foods with a low glycemic index that do not cause sharp spikes in blood sugar. And if you enjoy dried fruits, consume them separately from coffee to reduce the load on the pancreas and prevent metabolic disorders. Additionally, experts from the American Diabetes Association recommend limiting caffeine consumption to 2 cups per day to avoid overloading the body and triggering insulin imbalances. Tip 9. Never drink coffee with chocolate. This combination can lead to dangerous health consequences, including tachycardia, high blood pressure, and an increased risk of heart disease. Coffee and chocolate are 2 iconic products that many people love. Their combination seems natural. The energizing aroma of freshly brewed espresso perfectly complements the rich taste of dark chocolate. However, behind this gastronomic pleasure lies a serious threat. Both products are rich in caffeine, and dark chocolate also contains theobromine, a substance similar to caffeine but with an even more pronounced stimulating effect. When these 2 components enter the body simultaneously, their impact on the central nervous system and heart is greatly amplified, causing excessive excitement, rapid heart rate, and sharp fluctuations in blood pressure. Studies conducted by experts from Harvard Chan School of Public Health have shown that the combination of coffee and chocolate can significantly increase heart rate and raise the risk of hypertension. In the experiment, a group of people who regularly consumed these products together were more likely to experience symptoms of tachycardia, dizziness, anxiety attacks, and even a feeling of tightness in the chest. Scientists explain that the combination of caffeine and theobromine creates an overload effect for the cardiovascular system, which is particularly dangerous for those predisposed to hypertension and arrhythmia. A striking example of the consequences of this combination was the case of David Henderson, a 50-year-old lawyer from New York. David led a stressful life. Court hearings, long hours in the office, and constant stress required high levels of concentration. To stay energetic, he developed the habit of starting each morning with a double espresso and several pieces of dark chocolate. Over time, he began noticing alarming symptoms: sudden spikes in heart rate, panic attacks, dizziness, and the sensation that his heart was about to jump out of his chest. However, he did not pay much attention to it until one day he ended up in the hospital after a sudden heart attack in the middle of a courtroom. Doctors diagnosed him with paroxysmal tachycardia, triggered by excessive consumption of caffeine and theobromine. Only after this did David reconsider his eating habits, give up this dangerous combination, and significantly improve his well-being. To avoid such problems, it is important to consume coffee in moderation and avoid combining it with chocolate. If you have a sweet tooth, opt for nuts or fruits instead. And if you want to enjoy chocolate, it is better to choose white chocolate, as it does not contain theobromine and does not overload the heart. Experts from Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health also recommend limiting coffee intake to 1 or 2 cups per day, especially if your diet contains other stimulants. These simple changes can help maintain heart health and prevent unexpected complications. Tip 8. Never drink coffee with spicy food. This can cause serious stomach and intestinal diseases, including ulcers and gastritis, and can also worsen the functioning of the cardiovascular system. Coffee and spicy food are two powerful irritants that individually have a strong impact on the body. Caffeine stimulates the secretion of stomach acid, raising acidity and irritating the stomach lining. Spicy food, containing capsaicin, the active compound in chili peppers, further enhances this effect, causing inflammation and damage to the walls of the stomach and intestines. Together, they create a storm in the digestive system, increasing the risk of developing gastritis, ulcers, and chronic heartburn. Additionally, capsaicin dilates blood vessels, while caffeine causes them to constrict, which can lead to sudden spikes in blood pressure and strain on the heart. A study conducted by scientists at Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health found that the combination of coffee with spicy food increases the risk of gastroesophageal reflux disease, GERD, stomach lining inflammation, and hypertension. In the experiment, 70% of participants who regularly consumed coffee with spicy foods began suffering from heartburn and stomach pain, while 45% were diagnosed with gastritis symptoms within just 3 months. Doctors explain that caffeinated beverages combined with capsaicin create an aggressive environment in the stomach, damaging its protective mechanisms. A notable case involved 46-year-old Mark Reeder, the owner of a small restaurant in Austin, Texas. He had always been a fan of spicy Mexican food and could not imagine a morning without a cup of strong coffee. Breakfasts of scrambled eggs with jalapenos, sandwiches with spicy sauce, and espresso became his daily ritual. After several months, he began experiencing constant heartburn and stomach pain, but he attributed it to stress. However, one day after another meal, he developed sharp stomach pain accompanied by nausea. Doctors diagnosed him with an ulcer caused by the constant irritation of the stomach lining due to the combination of coffee and spicy food. Medical professionals were able to stabilize his condition, but Mark had to completely abandon his habit and switch to a gentler diet. How can you avoid such problems? First of all, avoid drinking coffee with spicy food. If you enjoy spicy dishes, it is better to wash them down with neutral drinks, water or milk. The proteins in milk can neutralize the effect of capsaicin, protecting the stomach lining. Doctors from Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health also recommend avoiding spicy food on an empty stomach and limiting caffeine intake to 1 or 2 cups per day to minimize strain on the stomach and heart. Tip 7. Never drink coffee with dairy products, especially milk. This can cause digestive issues, worsen skin conditions, and contribute to the development of inflammatory diseases. For many people, the day starts with a cup of aromatic latte or cappuccino, and few realize that this popular combination can negatively affect their health. The caffeine in coffee stimulates the production of stomach acid, increasing acidity, while milk, especially cow's milk, contains lactose, a carbohydrate that requires the enzyme lactase for digestion. The problem is that most adults have lower levels of this enzyme, making it difficult to digest lactose, which can cause bloating, cramps, and even inflammatory processes in the intestines. The combination of coffee with milk only exacerbates the situation, disrupting the balance of gut bacteria and contributing to the development of irritable bowel syndrome. A study conducted by scientists from the National Institutes of Health, NIH, found that over 65% of adults have difficulty digesting dairy products, especially when combined with coffee. Participants who drank coffee with milk daily were 40% more likely to experience symptoms of irritable bowel syndrome, including diarrhea, cramps, and bloating. Additionally, some participants developed skin rashes caused by gut dysfunction and systemic inflammation. A vivid example of the dangers of this combination was the case of 34-year-old Michael Davis, a sales manager from Los Angeles. Michael was a devoted fan of morning lattes. He drank them every day, believing it helped him stay alert for work meetings. Over time, he began noticing unpleasant changes in his body: constant bloating, heaviness after meals, and frequent breakouts on his skin. However, he didn't connect these symptoms to his favorite drink. It wasn't until a visit to a gastroenterologist and a series of tests that doctors diagnosed him with lactose intolerance and intestinal inflammation caused by the regular consumption of milk combined with coffee. Michael had to completely eliminate cow's milk and switch to plant-based alternatives. Within a few weeks, his condition improved, digestive issues and skin problems disappeared, and his energy levels increased. How can you avoid such problems? First and foremost, it is advisable to replace cow's milk with plant-based alternatives such as almond, coconut, or oat milk. These beverages do not contain lactose and are much easier for the body to digest. Doctors from the National Institutes of Health also recommend that people with sensitive stomachs drink coffee without additives or opt for milder coffee varieties to minimize irritation to the stomach lining. Tip 6. Never drink coffee with fast food. This can lead to serious health problems, such as obesity, cardiovascular diseases, and diabetes. The fast pace of modern life often leads to quick decisions. A takeaway cup of coffee and a burger you can eat on the go may seem like the perfect breakfast for busy people. However, this habit can lead to significant health issues. Coffee speeds up metabolism and stimulates the production of stomach acid, but when combined with fatty and calorie-dense foods like French fries, donuts, or sandwiches, it creates a storm in the body. The high levels of saturated fats and sugars in fast food slow down the absorption of caffeine, causing blood sugar spikes and overloading the pancreas. When this type of diet becomes a daily habit, it gradually leads to insulin resistance, weight gain, and vascular problems. A study conducted by researchers from the Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health showed that people who regularly consume coffee with fast food have an increased risk of developing metabolic disorders. They often experience sharp blood sugar fluctuations, reduced insulin sensitivity, and weight gain. The researchers note that fatty foods slow down the rate at which caffeine is absorbed, adding additional strain to the cardiovascular system, causing blood pressure spikes and chronic fatigue. A vivid example of the negative impact of this combination was the case of 32-year-old Tony Parker, an employee of an IT company in San Francisco. Working 10 to 12 hours a day, he didn't pay much attention to his diet. Every morning, he would stop at a drive-thru, ordering a large latte and a bacon burger. This breakfast would give him a brief surge of energy, but soon he started to notice that after eating, he felt extremely tired and drowsy. After several months, he began suffering from headaches, frequent blood pressure changes, and thirst, and his tests showed prediabetes. Doctors diagnosed that the combination of coffee and fatty food had triggered a metabolic imbalance that severely impacted his health. To avoid diabetes, Tony had to completely change his diet, eliminate fast food, and limit his coffee intake. How can you avoid making this mistake? First and foremost, stop the habit of washing down fatty foods with coffee. If it's difficult to give up your morning dose of caffeine, try drinking it separately and opt for healthier breakfast choices like oatmeal, eggs, vegetable salads, or nuts. The American Diabetes Association also recommends controlling portion sizes and avoiding foods that overload the body with fast carbohydrates and saturated fats. Tip 5. Never drink coffee with sweetened yogurt. This can cause serious health problems such as obesity, diabetes, and cardiovascular diseases. Many people believe that a cup of aromatic coffee paired with sweetened yogurt and fruit is a light and healthy breakfast that will provide energy for the entire day. However, this combination can have a serious negative impact on your body. Sweetened yogurts often contain large amounts of hidden sugar, which causes sharp spikes in blood glucose levels. The caffeine in coffee stimulates the release of adrenaline, enhancing this effect and triggering an increase in insulin levels. This creates a double burden on the pancreas and accelerates the development of insulin resistance, which can lead to type 2 diabetes and metabolic disorders. Research conducted by the American Diabetes Association showed that combining coffee with products high in added sugar increases the risk of insulin resistance. In the study, 50% of participants who regularly consumed coffee with sugar-containing products experienced sharp blood sugar spikes, fatigue, and increased appetite. Scientists explain that this combination not only increases the risk of metabolic disorders, but also leads to overeating due to the sharp fluctuations in glucose levels. A clear example of this is the case of 41-year-old Richard Collins, a financial consultant from Chicago. He was always busy with work and thought that coffee with sweetened yogurt was a quick and convenient way to start his day. However, after several months, he began noticing strange changes. After his morning coffee, he felt energized, but within an hour, he experienced severe fatigue and hunger. This led him to snack more, which ultimately resulted in weight gain. When he began experiencing frequent headaches and constant thirst, he decided to visit a doctor. Tests showed that he was in a pre-diabetic state and had early signs of insulin resistance. Doctors explained that his habit of combining coffee with sugar-containing products had overloaded his pancreas, causing his body to no longer effectively regulate glucose levels. To avoid these consequences, it is important to replace sweetened yogurts with natural ones that contain no added sugar. These contain probiotics and help maintain healthy gut flora without causing sharp spikes in blood sugar levels. If you want to add sweetness, consider using fresh berries or nuts. Additionally, the American Heart Association recommends limiting sugar intake to reduce the strain on the cardiovascular system and maintain stable glucose levels. Tip 4. Never drink coffee with baked goods. This culinary duo can lead to obesity, cardiovascular diseases, and an increased risk of diabetes. A hot cup of coffee paired with a fresh pastry is a morning ritual for millions of people worldwide. However, this combination is a real trap for your metabolism. Baked goods, whether it's a croissant, muffin, or donut, contain a large amount of refined carbohydrates and added sugar, which cause a rapid spike in blood glucose levels. Meanwhile, caffeine stimulates the release of adrenaline, amplifying this effect and causing the body to go into energy swings, a sudden burst of alertness followed by an equally rapid drop in energy and an overwhelming feeling of hunger. This process leads to overeating and puts a strain on the pancreas, which over time can result in insulin resistance. A study conducted by Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health revealed that people who regularly combine coffee with baked goods are twice as likely to suffer from metabolic syndrome, a condition that includes obesity, hypertension, and prediabetes. The study found that participants who began their day with a coffee and sugar combination experienced sharp insulin level spikes and increased cravings for carbohydrates throughout the day. Researchers noted that this diet contributes to fat accumulation in the abdominal area, which is a concerning signal for the cardiovascular system. A telling case is that of 37-year-old Thomas Wilson, a lawyer from Atlanta. Thomas had a routine of having breakfast at the nearby coffee shop. A latte with sugar and 2 donuts was his daily morning habit. He thought a little indulgence wouldn't hurt since he stayed active during the day. However, after several months, he started to notice that he constantly lacked energy, felt sleepy by noon, and his weight was gradually increasing despite his active lifestyle. When he began experiencing frequent headaches and bouts of weakness, he decided to see a doctor. Tests revealed insulin resistance and high cholesterol levels. Doctors explained that his usual breakfast was placing a significant burden on his body, leading to metabolic imbalances. Thomas had to give up sweet pastries and replace them with healthier options. And within a few weeks, he felt a significant improvement in his health. How can you avoid these issues? Replace baked goods with whole grain products, nuts, or lean protein sources. These foods will provide your body with energy without causing sharp spikes in sugar levels. If you'd like to add sweetness, try adding some cinnamon to your morning coffee. It not only enhances the flavor, but also helps stabilize blood glucose levels. Experts from the American Heart Association recommend limiting sugar and refined carbohydrate intake to prevent cardiovascular diseases and maintain stable energy levels throughout the day. Tip 3. Never drink coffee with fatty foods. This combination can lead to serious health problems, including cardiovascular diseases, liver issues, and digestive disorders. The aroma of freshly brewed coffee paired with crispy bacon or fried sausages for breakfast may seem like a classic way to start the day, providing energy and alertness. However, this tempting combination hides significant risks. Fatty foods slow down digestion, placing extra strain on the stomach and liver. Meanwhile, caffeine stimulates the production of stomach acid, which can lead to heartburn, inflammation of the stomach lining, and even gastritis. What is even more concerning is that the combination of saturated fats and caffeine contributes to increased levels of bad cholesterol, which over time can lead to clogged arteries and cardiovascular diseases. A study conducted by the American Heart Association found that people who regularly consume coffee with fatty foods tend to have higher cholesterol levels and an increased risk of atherosclerosis, a dangerous condition in which arteries become blocked by fat deposits. During the experiment, participants whose diets included saturated fats along with coffee were more likely to experience high blood pressure, unstable blood sugar levels, and a general decline in metabolic health. A striking example is the case of 42-year-old James Randall, an auto repair shop owner from Dallas. James had always been an active man, but his eating habits were far from ideal. Every morning, he stopped by his favorite diner for a breakfast of eggs with bacon and a strong cup of black coffee. He believed this hearty meal kept him energized throughout the day. However, after several months, he began to notice alarming symptoms: frequent dizziness, shortness of breath while walking, and discomfort in his chest. One day, after experiencing a sharp pain on his left side, he was forced to seek medical attention. Tests revealed critically high cholesterol levels and early signs of coronary artery disease. Doctors explained that his habit of combining fatty foods with coffee was a major factor in overloading his cardiovascular system. To avoid such health risks, it is best to replace fatty foods with lighter, healthier alternatives. Instead of bacon and greasy sausages, opt for lean meats, fish, or plant-based protein sources like avocado or nuts. A balanced breakfast should also include fiber-rich foods such as oatmeal, berries, or whole grain bread, which help maintain stable blood sugar levels and improve digestion. The American Diabetes Association advises against pairing coffee with saturated fats and high-calorie foods to reduce the risk of cardiovascular disease and promote long-term health. Tip 2. Never drink coffee with energy drinks. This combination can lead to serious health problems such as arrhythmia, high blood pressure, and even stroke. Many people turn to coffee and energy drinks for a boost, not realizing that this combination can pose a serious risk to their heart. Both beverages contain high doses of caffeine, and energy drinks are also packed with additional stimulants such as taurine and guarana. When consumed together, they put excessive strain on the nervous system, causing overexcitement, rapid heartbeat, and sudden spikes in blood pressure. This kind of stress on the heart can be especially dangerous for those with a predisposition to hypertension or irregular heart rhythms. A study conducted by researchers at Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health found that consuming more than 400 milligrams of caffeine per day significantly increases the risk of arrhythmia. Scientists discovered that combining coffee with energy drinks creates what they call a tandem hit effect on the cardiovascular system, drastically increasing the chances of a hypertensive crisis and even a stroke, particularly in people over 40 years old. A real-life example of these dangers is the case of 30-year-old Jeffrey Morgan, a programmer from San Diego. Jeffrey worked at an IT company and regularly drank multiple cups of coffee daily. However, as deadlines tightened, he began supplementing his routine with energy drinks. He believed in the dangerous myth that the more caffeine he consumed, the more productive he would be. At first, he felt an energy boost, but soon he started experiencing alarming symptoms: severe headaches, hand tremors, and sudden heart palpitations. One day during a meeting, he unexpectedly lost consciousness. Doctors diagnosed him with an acute episode of tachycardia and a hypertensive crisis, both triggered by excessive caffeine consumption. A cardiologist warned Jeffrey that if he continued down this path, he would be at serious risk of suffering a stroke in the near future. To prevent such consequences, replace energy drinks with safer alternatives. Water, herbal teas, or coconut water are much better options for maintaining energy levels without straining the heart. It is also crucial to monitor your overall caffeine intake and not exceed safe daily limits. The American Heart Association strongly advises people to pay close attention to how their bodies react to caffeine and to avoid combining multiple stimulants at once to prevent serious health complications. Now let's move on to the most dangerous point on our list. Tip 1. Never drink coffee with alcohol. This combination can lead to serious health problems, including alcoholism, liver disease, and cardiovascular disorders. Coffee and alcohol have opposite effects on the body, but when consumed together, they create a false sense of alertness that masks the real level of intoxication. Caffeine acts as a stimulant, suppressing drowsiness and making a person feel more sober than they actually are. This often leads to excessive alcohol consumption, increasing the risk of intoxication and dependence. Additionally, this combination puts extreme stress on the liver. Caffeine speeds up metabolism, while ethanol slows down toxin elimination, forcing the liver to work much harder. A study conducted by the National Institutes of Health revealed that drinking coffee with alcohol increases the risk of developing alcoholic hepatitis and liver cirrhosis. Researchers found that this combination slows down the breakdown of ethanol, prolonging its effects on the body and accelerating liver cell damage. Furthermore, participants who regularly consumed coffee with alcohol developed a higher tolerance to alcohol, making them more prone to addiction. One striking example is the case of 35-year-old Michael Rivers, a bartender from Miami. Michael had a habit of ending his shifts with a classic combination, an espresso and a glass of strong liquor. He believed that coffee helped him stay alert after a long workday, but he failed to notice how his alcohol intake steadily increased over time. After a few years, he started experiencing liver problems, constant fatigue, pain in his right side, and a general decline in health. One day, he collapsed at work and was rushed to the hospital. Doctors diagnosed him with fatty liver disease and the early stages of cirrhosis, both caused by prolonged stress on his liver. Medical experts explain that mixing coffee with alcohol creates a deceptive effect, allowing people to drink more than their bodies can safely process. To avoid such dangerous consequences, it is best to avoid caffeine while consuming alcohol. Instead, opt for water or non-alcoholic cocktails to stay hydrated and reduce liver strain. If you need a pick-me-up, it is better to drink coffee separately several hours after consuming alcohol. Experts from the American Heart Association strongly recommend monitoring alcohol intake and avoiding its combination with other stimulants to protect the heart, liver, and nervous system. Next, I recommend checking out these videos, and don't forget to leave your likes and comments. I'm looking forward to them.